What's going on, guys? My name is Joey Speaks, and this is Everyday People, the podcast. So today on the show, I have myself. So it's you and me again, okay? So today, I have one topic I want to talk about. Not sure how long or short this is going to go, but we're going to talk about this one thing. So I've actually had a few people asking me about, like what has been your journey as a trainer and as a businessman. And I typically don't talk about business. I typically don't talk about, the things that I've done, my strategies. I give an answer when someone asks me something, but I don't really go into detail. And I'm going to go into a little more detail today than I typically do. And I kind of want to remember my original gym and my clients in my original gym and how small it was and how great they were and how they helped me get to where I'm at today. So as we sit right here, I'm coming up on 8 years in being in business, and it's been nothing but awesome. I mean, like it's been great. So, when I worked a couple of different jobs, many different jobs before I became a trainer. I actually started training in 2001, and I know that I've kind of gone over some of this stuff in my very first podcast. But I kind of talk more about my life in general, but I want to just talk about just specifically, being a trainer, owning a business, moving from my first gym to my current gym, all the things that kind of have gone into it. So let's go. So I had many jobs. I have been fired from a couple jobs. I've been laid off from a couple jobs. I've had my ups and downs for sure, in the business world, in the work world. And I had decided that, I was tired of just doing what everyone else was doing and doing what I had been doing for such a long time that I just didn't feel like I was getting anywhere the way that I wanted to. So when I was 46, I basically told myself, I got to shit or get off the pot. Either I'm going to start doing something now or I'm never going to do it. And so I did. Unfortunately, fortunately, I was laid off from my last job, and I decided, well, this is my chance. Like, this is like everything's lining up perfectly for me to be able to, jump into doing what I really want to do. So I had been a trainer since 2001, but I always had a regular office job and did personal training on the side. So at the end of 2015, beginning of 16, I said, well, this is my chance. This is what I'm going to do, and sink or swim, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it. And the cool thing is that the way that things lined up, it was perfect. Like I could not have designed it any better. I really think that God's hand was on me, and things happened to where I can't even explain how they actually happened with the success that I had. The first gym that I had was a 225 square foot gym, and I'm going to put some videos here or here. I'm actually going to kind of run the videos throughout the course of this podcast, just so you can kind of see what we were doing and how we were doing it. My gym was 225 square feet. I had a good number of clients. I actually kind of built my clientele pretty quickly. And Kathy Lewis was the reason why I feel like things started to change. I had not been doing social media. And I got on Facebook, and I posted Kathy's transformation. She lost 60 pounds over a year, and her, before, middle, and after pictures were just epic. And then people who knew me, who knew her, started contacting me, and next thing you know, I started getting many more clients, and things just started to change. Well, one of the things that I did when I first started is I didn't charge a lot of money. I still don't charge a lot of money. I definitely am below market value, which is a mistake, but also is a good thing. And we can get into that in a little while. I did not want money to be a reason why someone could not get in shape. I did not want money to be a reason why someone could not get healthy. And luckily for me and the situation I was in with my wife and my kids, I didn't need to charge, premium prices. And what I feel like it did is it really made it to where, people who I was dealing with could tell that I'm not about the money. I'm about you. So I don't chase money, I chase you. And when I get you, and then once we create a relationship, you see what I'm about, and then the business part of itself takes care of itself. Okay. That has been my philosophy. It has worked for me. I would not say that would work for everybody, but for me, it has worked, and I'm happy with what I'm able to do for people. I think that, everyone has their own way of going about business. Everyone has their own way about going about the things that they do. This is the way that I chose. And the funny thing is I didn't even choose it. It was just kind of what I thought I should do. So I did. And it's worked out great. It really has. I have not had just clients, but I have created so many relationships. And I think that the thing that I'm most proud of is getting people results. But the next thing I'm most proud of is that someone signs up with me for 2-3 months and then they stay with me for 3, 4, 5 years. That makes me know that I'm doing something correct, that it's a lifestyle. This is not like hey, I want to lose 20 pounds in a month or two. No, this is about how can I help these people get in shape for their life. And that has been my goal from the beginning. The funny thing is that, like when I was younger, I thought that everybody knew what I knew. I was an athlete. It was just what I did. It was who I was. But everyone doesn't know these things. So it's not just about personal training, but it's about, playing sports and being an athlete and the little things that I knew, the little nuances that I picked up from my coaches and from my dad and from the things that I learned. I just figured that everyone else kind of knew it also, but they didn't. So it ended up being a good place for me to be in business because I love sports. I love training. I love working out. And it kind of just became a very natural progression for me to leave my office jobs and get into being a personal trainer and then a gym owner. So in my original gym, and like I said, I know that maybe you guys have heard some of this before, but that's okay. In my original gym, it was such a small gym. It really made me have to get creative with being a trainer. Like if you work at a gym, I worked at 24 Hour Fitness a long time ago. And, there's a gazillion machines. You can take someone on any machine to help them get in shape. And, the treadmill and the elliptical and the bench press and the whatever. I had a Smith machine, resistance bands, and a couple of dumbbells. And I think that the thing that really made me believe that it could be successful was that my wife told me that this is you. This is where you will thrive. And as much as I hate to admit it, or as much as I love to admit it, like she's right. Like she's right about the things that I know about myself. Like she knows me as well as I know myself. So when she said that, like I was like, okay, all right, I need to give it a shot because I was very skeptical about having such a small gym. But it was a very intimate place to where like I really got to know the people who I was training. And then I started to do group classes, and then I quickly grew out of that gym. So I started my gym in the beginning in maybe April. I was a trainer at another gym, another private gym for about 4 months. And then I started my gym in about April or May of 16. And then I was in this place by the beginning of 18. So I was only over there for like about a year and a half before I grew out of it. And I did not leave until I literally was busting at the seams. Eric was standing in the door while I had 3 or 4 other guys in the gym. And it was time for me to get a bit bigger place. So my philosophy of the way that I train people and the way that I do business is I'm not a cutthroat type guy. That's just not me. I'm much more about, like, I feel like I have these things that I can do, and how can I help you know the things that I know? How can I teach you the things that I do myself? I can't tell you how much it amazes me that I teach people the same stuff that I had been doing just for my own workouts, and then teaching women boxing and deadlifting and all these things that like I never thought would be a thing, but they're really a thing. And it has been just cool for me when I kind of just review and look back over all the things that I've done. I think the reason why I have been successful is because I've been myself. I've been who I am. And this is what I like to do. I think that when you're in the room with me, like, that I'm in here having a good time. I don't ever feel like, oh man, I'm going to work today. No, like I'm going to see the guys today. I'm going to see the girls today. And it really is like that. It's so, the atmosphere at my gym is just very, I want to say family oriented, not like a mother, father, son, daughter type thing, but like when you're here, like your family, and it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. So, I think that, people are nervous and afraid to jump out on their own. I was. The cool thing for me was that like I had got kicked in the ass to get out of my last job. So I really didn't have anywhere else to go except for looking for another job. So it was not, I wouldn't say it was easy for me, but it was an easier decision to say, hey, like, why don't I just try this now? As opposed to actually quitting a job or leaving a job and saying, hey, I want to do this, So I think that the transition was a little more natural for me, but I was going to do it anyway. It was just going to be harder if I did it, if I actually had to leave a job. So, but I do think this, and I think the reason why I wanted to make this video again is because, I know that it's hard, man. It's hard. Like, it's scary. It's tough. It's doing your own thing. There's no one to blame anymore. Oh, my boss didn't give me a raise. Oh, like they're keeping me down. They're not giving me a promotion. Like there's always somebody to blame when you're dealing with a whole bunch of people. When you're on your own, man, it's you. Like you're sinking or swimming on your own. And it's a scary place to be, especially when you have a wife and kids, or if you have a husband and kids, or whatever the case is. And so it was tough. And I was very nervous about doing what I did, but I felt this sense of peace, I guess I want to say, because I felt like my wife was really behind me. My kids were really behind me. My friends were really behind me. And I feel like they had more confidence in me doing what I was going to do than I did. Like I was looking at all the negative stuff, even though I knew that it was going to be a good thing, like I would just see the negative stuff as opposed to the positive and the negative stuff, where they would be reinforcing the positive. And so it was just, it was a great transition for me. But like I said, I wanted to make this video because there may be a few of you who are thinking about doing something on your own. There may be a few of you who are thinking about, hey, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I'm afraid to leave my job. I'm afraid to switch it up. And this is what I want to make sure that I tell you. Don't just do something because I said it. Don't just do something because somebody else said it. Do it because it's time. It was time for me. January 1st, 2016, it was my time. And it's a trip, in this little clip of the videos that I'm going to be showing here. Hopefully if I can get them in, I should be able to. But my very first video, I said, my name is Joey Speaks, and this is my introduction to the online fitness world. And it was a trip because, I look all goofy and corny and stuff, but like, I remember what I was thinking. I remember how scared and how nervous I was because I never posted on, social media. I had never been out there like that. But like, I wasn't talking to me. I was talking to you and everybody else. And I was kind of putting myself out there. And it's tough, man. Some people make it seem like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But everybody lives their own life, and everyone has their own fears and, things that are going to bother them or help them. It was tough for me. But man, like, it quickly just caught fire, man. It just quickly picked up. And I really, really do think that the reason that I've had the success that I've had, and by no stretch of the imagination, don't think that I think that I'm way up here, because I'm not. I am where I'm at because of what I've done, but I still have a long way to go. I still have a lot of things I still want to accomplish. But man, like it was just my time. It was my time to transition from this part of my life to the next part of my life. And you may be in that position. You may or you may not be. But if you have been thinking about something that you want to do, man, talk with somebody who you really trust, who won't just tell you yes because they love you or they like you or they think that you're cool, that they'll tell you the truth. My wife and my kids, like, they'll tell me the truth. They are, they're diplomatic when they have to hurt my feelings, but if they have to tell me something, they tell me something. And I appreciate that, because, and even if the few times that they have tried to sugarcoat something, I can tell in their face and their body language. And then I would say, just tell me the truth. And then they would tell me the truth. When you get someone who you trust, that you can actually bounce things off and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? then you're in a good position. Okay. But then also, even if they disagree with you, if you really think that you should try something, maybe you should try it. The one thing that I prided myself on when I was younger, that I changed a little bit, over like a good 25 years or so, and then I changed back, was I would do anything. I would try anything at any time. And then I got married, I had kids, and my life changed. And then now when I wanted to go into my own business, I kind of got more chancy and, did what I did. But man, like I don't want to have any regrets about the things that I really want to do in my life. There are things that, like I love hiking, but I don't want to go up to no crazy hike where I'm going to, I'm not in it for that. I like just being out there and kind of getting to work. Like I'm not in it trying to, climb the highest mountain. That's not me. So like that doesn't bother me if I don't ever do that. But if the things that I really want to do, if I don't try them, like I won't forgive myself if I did not try. Whether I succeed or fail, it matters, of course, but it doesn't matter. If I try, that's all. I at least want to give it a shot. I want to put my hat in the ring, see what I got. If it works, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least I know that I tried. So if you're thinking about doing something, if you're thinking about anything that you've wanted to do since you were young, since you were a teenager, since you got married, since whatever the case is, man, like give it a shot. Give it a shot. I would hate for you to regret the fact that you didn't try something that you always wanted to try. Okay. And honestly, like I know I've talked about a lot of this stuff. The difference in this video is I'm going to be able to put the old, gym so you can kind of see where I was really at, because you may not remember those videos from a long time ago, to where I'm at now. And it's kind of cool, and I don't like to pat myself on the back or anything like that. But when I do think about it and I look back at things, like, man, I have come a long way, and it makes me proud, and it's really cool. I have not done this by myself, and chances are you won't either. There's going to have to be somebody in your corner, people who support you, like luck, opportunity, all those things. Like they really kind of have to align. Rarely does someone just do something on their own and it's just them. And even if that was the case, like, man, that's a lonely place. It's cool for me to go home and my wife and my son and my daughter know what I do. My friends know what I do. And like, not that I need their validation, but like, it's cool that I'm contributing. I'm not taking away. So I think that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you about today. If you're thinking about something, do something. If you're thinking about something, really think about it. Talk to somebody you trust. Get the information that you need to make a very critical decision, and then go from there. Guys, if you have any fitness questions, if you have anything that you want to talk about as far as, like your meal plan, your workouts, like whatever the case is, I'm still the same guy I was when I first started. I want to help. I feel very lucky and blessed to be in the position that I'm in. I have had this gym for almost 8 years, man, almost 8 years. And I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to change what I do. I'm going to get better, but I'm not going to change who I am and what I do. So if you need me, hit me anytime. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video.